Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. To those who are new, my name is Ellie. I do lifestyle, motherhood, and beauty videos. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be part of my fam here on YouTube, and I love for you to be part of my channel. So today's video is like how it says on the title, how I got blacklisted from Target for 10 years. So this is not clickbait or anything. I'm just gonna pretty much tell you from the beginning to the end. I will be changing the names for everyone. So with that being said, let's just get into this video. I was already had worked in the food industry, so I decided to stick with that, but I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do beverages, like coffees and places like that. So I decided, why not apply to the Starbucks inside of Target, right? So I apply. I get an interview. I get called in for a personal one-on-one, because it was a phone interview and then a one-on-one. And then after that, I got the job. So I got trained for a week or two with this person. So we're gonna reference her or call her the manager. It was the beginning of summer when I started working there. I got along with other girls while I was getting trained, while I worked there. There was also this other manager called, well, a supervisor called Kelly. She was amazing. She helped me with a lot of things. If I had any questions, I could go to her. She was super nice, super sweet, the chillest person ever. Okay, so let's describe the manager's personality. She seemed really nice, really sweet, chill, caring type of person. When I was getting trained by her, it got to the point where I had to get free drinks. She started talking to me about her personal life, details that I feel like I shouldn't have known, and this was all within that week or 2 weeks of me knowing this person. I remember we were working late one night and I was new there within that 2-week mark period, and she had offered to give me a ride home because according to her it was on her way home. So I was like, okay, cool, I don't have to go across a bridge, fine, I don't have to go by myself. So I was like, okay. And she takes me there, she's asking me questions about me, which is kind of normal, whatever. And she drops me off. I'm like, okay, thanks, bye, see you tomorrow, or see you the next day that I work, right? So at this point I was like, okay, she's someone that I can probably trust, probably be okay with. Fast forward some time, a month or so, there was also I would constantly talk to the girls and stuff just about random stuff, and they would tell me that the manager would mess up schedules all the time. So if you had something to do a certain time, if you couldn't be here this day, to make sure to let her know ahead of time, just because you didn't want to be scheduled on the day that you can't come in, and then you have it as a call off and it counts against you. So yeah, this is leading up to the time where Daniel was actually going through some surgeries type of stuff, and I had talked to the manager. I had started talking to her about what was going on, why I needed some days off, and she seemed pretty chill and understanding, but I only was able to get 1 day off. Honestly, I felt like I needed at least 4 days. I actually was able to get, well, technically 2, because I switched the shift with someone else. That way I could be off 2 days in a row. Daniel was undergoing surgery at the time, and I was the only one that was able to take care of him. So after those 2 days were up, I'm at work, making drinks, dealing with people, but in the back of my mind I'm is he okay? Is he gonna be fine? Because he had this whole thing attached to him where it was just a huge dilemma. Maybe another story for a different time. But yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I kind of let it go. I was whatever, right? I'm at least someone else was able to cover my shift, so I didn't get penalized against it. She would do stuff like that, or if you were busy at the front making drinks and dealing with people, she'd be at the back. If you would go back there and get some ice, you legit would see her on her phone just texting. And I remember there was this other time where I had gone back there and she was saying that she was gonna get cups. All I see is this girl has cups right here but texting with the other hand like this, and she legit had been back there for 10 minutes and we didn't need cups. That goes to show how she started from being chill and relaxed to this type of person legit in a span of months, not even a year. Okay, so some time goes by and it's closer to Black Friday, Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff, right? So it's around that time and we're starting to hire new people because we do get busy. Our store is actually, well, Starbucks there at this location is one of the most selling stores for Target in Chicago. So yeah, we were always busy every single day. I remember especially in the mornings or on the weekend, it would get super packed. So keeping this in mind, we were hiring people for for that season And so also like some of the girls were leaving just because they were either there for a long period of time, they couldn't deal with the manager's BS anymore, or they had like better job opportunities. There was like 2 girls that actually made it that didn't end up leaving, that they actually could have handled, because if you were there for a week and the manager liked how you worked, then you were able to stay. And if she didn't like how you worked, she would be like, oh sorry, I don't think this is for you, and let you go. So these 2 girls made it. They were there for like 2 weeks. Most of them wouldn't last, to be honest. So these are the only 2 girls that stayed. So we're gonna call one of them Delilah and we're gonna call one of them Tammy. So these are the 2 new girls, right? And so fast forward a week later, I make sure to give the manager 2-week notice because I had found a better job opportunity. So I had told her ahead of time, like, you know, I give my 2 weeks. So I told her, hey, thanks for everything that you did, for the training, for everything. She did ask me like, is there anything else, you know, anything I can do to make you to stay? And I was like, I'm sorry, no there isn't. They're just giving me better pay at this other place, but I really appreciate everything. Like, you are amazing as a manager for teaching me everything, you know, when I was getting trained and stuff. So like, I told her good things. There's no reason for her to be bogus to me, right? And so she took it very well, or so I think. Later on that week, I find out that she's supposed to be working with me, right? Let's just leave it there. She's supposed to be working with me. So originally, it was gonna be me, the manager, Tammy, and Martha. So it's 4 of us, right? And so that was original plan. Something that day had told me, oh, you know, you shouldn't go into work. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna put that superstition to the side, whatever. I get to work, and one of my good friends there, she was telling me, she's like, you shouldn't have come in today, like it has been a mess out there, it's super busy, this and that. I was like, oh dang, you know, that's like sometimes like a regular day and stuff. And then that's when the manager walks into the break room, and she's like, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here, this and that. She's like, oh well, something came up, I have to go. No, she's like, okay, like, all right, bye. And she leaves, whatever. I go grab my apron, my hat, I head to the front, which is where Starbucks was. And I make sure, like, I put my stuff on, and I see Tammy. I don't see Marta. I see myself. And I see Delilah. So I have 2 new girls working with me. There's no manager. It's just the 3 of us. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Like, this doesn't seem right to me, right? I'm just like, whatever. There's times where people call off. They've been here for like almost a month, right? Life happens. Let's try to get through today and see how this goes. Like around probably 6, and it starts getting really busy. We don't close till like 9, but it starts getting really busy, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And this is when that zombie drink, the zombie frappuccino, was coming out, that had like the green at the bottom and I think the purple at the top. And people were crazy about it. I guess they just wanted to try it, or like the aesthetics of it. And so a lot of people were ordering it. We had to make whipped cream, but we were running out. And usually, like, you work in a coffee place, you have to like let the whipped cream sit for a couple of minutes when it's like shaken and like the thing. So you put it down. It got to the point where I was just like, you know what, just say we don't have any whipped cream, we're like short on people, we're not gonna waste time doing the whipped cream. So I completely take charge of this whole situation. These girls are asking me for help. Hey, what like buttons should I put for this order? Hey, I don't know where this is at. Hey, I don't know how to do this. And we, keep in mind, we had already a line in the coffee, like for hot drinks. We had a line of like cups in the like ice section, like where we make the cold beverages. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So I started making drinks fast. Yeah, I was doing all that, but it's so hard to do it when someone's constantly asking you, like, what do I put inside this drink? I'm like, you just made that 5 minutes ago. Get it together, Tammy. Like, get it together. I was like so ready to go into my 15 minutes. I was trying to keep like myself calm. Like I said, it was hard. So my 15 minutes come up. I take my 15 minutes. I sit down in the sitting area that we have, and I'm just like messaging Danny all the time, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, telling him what's going on. And then all of a sudden I feel like my eyes are getting watery because I feel like so stressed, and I just felt uncomfortable. And so I remember going to the bathroom that we had for like us in the back, and I go and I lock it and I close it and I call him, and I'm just like, I don't think I can do this. this is getting too much for me. And these girls, it's like I'm doing everything by myself. It just felt like too much. And I legit, guys, I was crying my eyes off. And I wore makeup that day. I was crying. And so he was telling me, you know, calm down, it's going to be okay, you can do this. And I was like, you know what, no, I don't want to. I think this is it. I'm just going to leave. I'm done. Let them deal with it however it is they want to. I just can't anymore. And he's like, are you sure about this? Like, he wasn't giving me like, oh yes, it's okay babe, I got you. I ended up like being like, you know what, just, you're not telling me what I want to hear, bye. Click on him. And then I call my mom. I call her and I'm like crying and telling her what's going on, what's happening. Like, I'm like, I told her I don't feel like I should be getting treated this way. It's not right what they're doing. I want to leave. Can my dad pick me up? And she's like, you know what, you don't have to stay in a place that doesn't like treat you right, that doesn't deserve like how you are and like what you've given them. And I was just like, so I'm not wrong. And so I was like, okay, you know what, thanks. Like, this was so hard. I just didn't know what to do. And so she's like, don't worry, your dad will be there in a couple minutes. I'll let him know. We end the phone call. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm leaving. Like, I'm done. I had enough. I tried. And I just couldn't. And it's probably like 7:30, 8. Because I was just like, you know what? I can't do this. I'm done with their drama, whatever. So I go head to the back. And I'm just like getting my stuff. And I'm still crying. But not as much as I was when I was on the phone. But I'm still like, you could tell I was crying. So I talked to this one girl named Andre. Which is, Audrey is like best friends with the manager, but she's also like a manager, like supervisor at Target. And so I tell her, you know what, I'm leaving. She asked me like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm done. Like, I'm just gonna leave home. I can't do it anymore. And she's like, are you sure? You know what this means? That if you end up leaving, you can't work for us anymore. And I was just like, yeah, it's fine. I understand. And so she went to go get the paperwork. And I just signed it and I was like on my merry way. But while I was signing, I noticed that this freaking hoe, I could tell like there was some sense of victory in her smile. Like, she was smiling, but not like that obvious smile, like that little like, yes, like ha, like she didn't last. I end up leaving, and my dad picks me up and I go home, whatever. I felt like so sad after this whole incident had happened. Like, you guys have no idea how I felt. I felt like, dang, I have done everything right. Like, I'm a good person. I wasn't mean to this like lady. Keep in mind, guys, she's like probably in her 40s, like late 30s or whatever. And I'm like, I never did like anything to like disrespect her. I thanked her for everything, and this is what she does to me. And then later on, this is what I find out. I messaged all the girls on that work there and I told them what happened. And then that's when I find out that they had actually called in one of the other girls, that she had volunteered like herself to go and like be there instead of one of the new girls. But the manager, she dismissed it and ignored it completely. So this would have never happened if this manager would have let her go in. What didn't make sense to me is that the manager lied to my face and told me that that wasn't true, that supposedly she couldn't find any replacement, so that's why the new girls were there. She completely lied. Why would I trust you after everything you did? Like, no. And so then some of the other girls were telling me how they're like, yeah, the manager has been doing like a lot of like messing up on the schedules, or like she's been doing some people bogus, like, you know, like, and some other people were like, oh my gosh, we gotta watch our backs, this and that, because they knew how she was. But, and I even knew how she like was turning out to be too, but I never thought she would have stooped this low. Like, seriously. Worst experience ever. And so yeah, I had told them and let them know about everything. And you know, like, there's this other incident that happened, but I feel like that one's not my story to tell, so I'm not gonna talk about that one. But after what she did to this other girl that worked there, I should have known that she would have done something this petty to me too. And she did this because I had given my 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's because of that, because out of nowhere later on that week this happens. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, so I ended up leaving, whatever, right? And a couple of days later, I'm just like, you know what? I'm in the mood for Starbucks. Let's go back. So I go back with Daniel. She's right there. I see her. Let's go. And I'm gonna watch her make my drink, right? So I go. As I'm going, she sees me, and you know what she does? She goes to the back. At first I was like, maybe I got all this wrong. Maybe she can clarify some things for me and tell me that, you know, this wasn't it. Because I'm not that type of person that's like doesn't confront you about stuff. I just want to clear things between the air, you know, like I want to give you a chance to like defend yourself or like say what it is that you felt. And so as soon as that happens, she goes to the back and I'm just like, what? So this other girl ended up making my drink, and once I'm leaving like out the Target store, like I see her come back out. So it's like, really? Why do you have to get scary ass like that? Like seriously, ponte los pantalones and tell me in my face how it is that you actually felt, because you hurt my feelings so bad. I just felt like what happened shouldn't have happened, but it did. And I feel like over time, like I was able to get over it, but it's just, dang, who like legit does this like to someone that is a nice and caring person? It feels so nice having to like be able to tell that story from my point of view and know that it wasn't me, you know, like just saying it and putting it out there is like, whoa. That is the story of how I got blacklisted from Target. I hope you guys never work at that place. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Make sure to comment down below what you think. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be part of my fam here on YouTube. Give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see more storytime videos like this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.